Okay, I figured I'd do kind of quick walk through the gardens. Here's in our Kyoto garden. See back here the toad lilies coming back. I make a big fuss about them because they have just a super unique flower. Really good, dependable perennial for the shade. People always ask about shade stuff. And then sticking with the shade, our Pachyssandra's coming back. It can be aggressive, but I kind of wanted in this bed to kind of compete with all this stuff, all this golden ray tree, more Pachysandra, and then of course our Oklahoma proven Japanese painted fern. These white ones, they're not quite as dependable as just the proven old purple ones. There's another one coming back, but they are coming back, so can't argue with them. And of course Mahonia, leather leaf, and a Cuba in the back. Our money warts coming back nicely here. I think we should do some ajuga. We got the Japanese forest grass coming back, kind of like the pygmy bamboo. So with all this yellow, the ajuga would definitely balance this out a little bit more. And I'm so happy I came over here because I didn't notice this. Our Dutch iris is blooming. It's beautiful. Yeah. So they always refer to the falls and the rise in the petals. We got promise of two more. And then this one that looks like the heuchera, the coral bells, is not. It's a foam flower. Torrella is the genus. And then this is the year our Japanese maple is really coming into its prime. It's got good roots. So here it'll get big. This is blood good. I like going with blood good because it's the Japanese maple that can handle the sun as well. So if your situation's changed like ours did, we removed a bunch of trees. He's getting more sun. He's still will be happy. Mahonia, switchgrass. We will probably lose this. It's just not enough sun back here for that. And another flag iris, and then our crepe myrtle. This was just an extra plant. We pulled it out of somewhere, and we just popped him in here. So if he keeps growing and looking good, we'll keep him there. I heard a cool story that people called the crepe myrtles. It's like monkey slip tree or something like that, about where the monkeys can climb them because of the smooth bark. I don't know, Will told me that. The white azalea is blooming. And then our Eclepia is coming back. This large green cover, ground cover. People don't like it because it is aggressive. Does get everywhere. Serves its purpose here. It'll be a solid mat with those red blooms on them. It's commonly referred to as the Chanel plant because it looks like the lipstick coming out. And then our cool season stuff that's still here. Haven't replanted obviously because of the cold weather sticking around. Our Iberis sempervirens, which is evergreen candy tuft. It's an old school plant like the creeping phlox. People kind of just forgotten about it. You just don't see it around anymore, but it is a spectacular plant because it has this a solid white bloom. In late fall or late winter, complements all the pink that you see around with everybody that has the creeping phlox. So Iberis sempervirens, and then you can see our passion vine coming back. I always joke about the passion vine. You'll always have it if you plant it. You'll always have it, just never where you planted it. So there's two more popping up over here. And I don't like using herbicides, but I did spray the Houtenia. Unfortunately, it won't take care of it. It'll be back. That's why I don't like that stuff. There's a little Tracecantia here, spiderwort. I was just reading the other day that the Ohio one that we have in the front, if you touch them, it'll like leak. Sometimes they call it snake tears. Anyways, I read it yesterday. I've been wanting to try it. The dianthus, I saw the cheddar pinks earlier today at Bustani. They it's an underused plant. You usually just see them sold with pansies and snapdragons, but it's a tough perennial. Like these guys will hang out throughout the summer. We do have our pineapple lilies coming back. Our ferns are coming back. Always impressed with these guys. This is a Tytoptera underneath this viburnum. I'm surprised that it's happy here because we get the reflected heat off of this window. This is the west side, but they're happy here. So here's a couple more pineapple lily. We should have there's a red, oh yeah, there it is, the red one. So we planted those last year, so you know they still got one more year to really get rooted in well, but should be a good show this year. They got another super interesting flower. I'll cut across here. Good antique rose. I always know they're antique because they still smell good. And they've been bred out of them now. Fennel's looking amazing. All we need is some swallowtails now. Of course, the thyme, elephant thyme. Our chives are blooming. The rue's blooming. I saw our little borage coming back. Borage has a cucumber tasting flower. It's really cool, old school. Our comfrey's about to bloom too. It's got these dainty like purple bells. So that should be another good show. Try not to step on anything here. Thyme's blooming. And this guy's just amazing, rocking it. And we'll be planting this as soon as the frost pass. Same with this guy, this side. Good old Artemisia. Man, and this Homestead verbena is amazing. And then our Gaillardia is coming up, right? Boom. And then the compass plant, it's coming along. And I noticed yesterday, one of my favorite plants, the lead plant, Morphus canadensis, it's coming out. It has that pinnate foliage. It's one of those, I like it because it sort of does its own thing. There's years where it just won't bloom if it doesn't want to. And then there's years where it'll bloom profusely. See, here's the lead plant coming back over on this corner. Coreopsis looks good, that's no surprise. And our Liatris and coneflower, Echinacea pallida. It's got those reflexed petals on it. There's a purpurea, Echinacea purpurea is what you is another native one, and Echinacea augustifolia is the ones that are typical, sold, you know, really hybridized. And our our butterfly weed, our ironweed, digitalis, our Penstemon digitalis. All this stuff's looking good. I'm happy with all the milkweed that's coming up here. Tuberosus and the crassula is coming up. We need to put in good annuals, good nectaring flowers, but we're already loaded up with eggs. And then this is looking good. Good old dependable columbine. It's almost a weed here. And these guys are still looking good. I'm always impressed because Got a little fern. I'm always impressed because we don't really do anything for these Lenten roses. Once they're established, they're kind of doing their own thing. Another columbine. I saw this one at Bastani. I think I did the same thing. Or Oriental lilies, stargazer. You always know the Oriental lilies, so it's all about flower orientation. So they'll be hanging down, whereas the Asiatic will be hanging up. And barberries, I think all the shade from the viburnum here, we're gonna probably lose these guys. There's just not enough light over here anymore for them. And check on, yeah, here's another little toad lily. I know they don't look like much, but as soon as you see them flower, you'll want one. These are looking good. I noticed the Wigilia is blooming. We have a variegated one. There's another Wigilia in that perennial bed, but it's looking really great. And Rapioleptis is a bulletproof plant. Looks like we'll actually see some blooms. This is another plant that kind of just does what it wants, and none of the literature can explain it. Like I planted some at a house where it's already 3.5 foot tall, where these guys have been here about 3 years and they haven't really done much, but you'll see them on like the side of the road. They take reflective heat. They're just one of those bulletproof plants, but for some reason sometimes they get fussy. I can't wait till the danger of frost is past to empty this house out and start planting some of this stuff. It's a cool little Spilanthes. It's called the peekaboo plant, but most people know it as the toothache plant because you can chew the foliage and it'll make your mouth numb. Basket grass is looking good. That'll be a good little kind of something to hang over the rock wall. And then buckeyes and castor beans and our peppers, our peas. I think these are watermelon. Yep. All waiting to get out into the ground. You can see the black cloth here is hiding our corn. We've still been having cold nights. See if our little friend is here. No, he must be out hunting. There's a skink. Sunbathing, living the good life. Onions look good. Potatoes are coming up. Tomatoes, I can't believe we kept them alive. Our hops are coming back. I just picked up our woolly Morning Glory. We'll replant. Always happy to see these guys. Yesterday I was mowing and I was like thinking they look like a tree, and now they got some size. Get me a little snack. So I was talking yesterday about the hypanthium of the rosacea family, so you could see where the apple will be. The apple will be this area here, and then the flowers in front of it, which is unusual. Anyways, hopefully we'll get some good apples this year. Irises are looking good. Bearded iris here. Another one. Of course, my good friend, the oak leaf hydrangea, getting ready to bloom. Pond I'll have to turn back on. We've had it off. Ooh, what's this doing here? Nice little rock bed. There's Dutch iris. Getting ready to bloom again. The ferns are coming up. Your lettuce is still here. Lady in red fern. Painted fern. Autumn fern. Another autumn fern coming up. Another. And then we have the allium, the ornamental onion. It'll bloom way up here. Big purple ball. You can see our sea oats coming back, Casmanthus. This is where I really want that basket grass here, but I don't think there's enough sun for it. Kind of hang over this wall. The buckeye back there, looking spectacular. Yeah, I'm glad we got a couple seeds off that guy. Anyways, it's spring. Things are moving along.